some good news that I can perhaps share with all of you today is that at a panel meeting that we had last week, it was officially a decision made by both IDC and DTI to increase the grant amounts was approved last week. So where the maximum grant previously was 1.5 million, it has now been increased to 3 million. And some of you may also be aware of that there's a lower scheme, the product development scheme, and the grant under that scheme has been increased from 500,000 to £1 million. I think I should also mention that there are other serious sources of funding to businesses in their seed and startup stages. Most notably, probably the funds that are available through the Innovation Fund. There are so many sources of funding, but each of these sources have their little niche. And one thing to remember of the IDC's Venture Capital SBU and of any other fund that you may deal with going forward is that that fund was established with a specific niche. There is no venture capital fund out there that I know of that is trying to or is actually able to be everything to everyone. So the challenge to you as entrepreneur is to find the fund that best fits your specific requirements. If you're going to approach us too early, we are going to insist on a very big stake in your company. And quite possibly, if you approach us too early, our specific mandate is not to take an equity stake in excess of 50%. So if you approach us too early, and we might possibly ask you for, or come to the conclusion that we would have to ask for 80% stake, and that would just disqualify you for funding immediately. We are a very focused fund. We're not there to support any startup business. We are looking for rich technologies that are going to make an impact because of its uniqueness, not only in South Africa, but in a global sense. We will fund you if you're pre-revenue. We are really playing in the high-risk stage of the business's life cycle. Our funding is a minimum of R1 million, maximum of 30 million rand. So again, that should tell you that we're not playing in the very, very early stages where a couple of 100,000 rand can still build value and de-risk. Our target equity stake is between 25% plus one share and 50% minus one share. So we always want a significant minority stake in your business. We never want control, but we want to be a significant partner. Once we've invested in your business, engaging with you at an executive management level. And yes, we will take a board seat, but that seat would be taken up by someone independent of the Venture Capital SBU. And that person will at all times act, person from within IDC, but that person will act independent of the Venture Capital SBU. We want to support those entrepreneurs that have that intellectual property vested in their heads. We don't want to support businesses that outsource development. So if you're the entrepreneur with a bright idea and you're going to outsource the development, we are not the fund for you. You can buy in skills. You don't have to give everyone a shareholding in the company. But the core skills need to be there, or plans need to be in place to bring those skills on board at the appropriate time. But typically in your development stage, it won't be necessary to have a high-profile CFO on board. Yes, you need to have your financial controls in place, but a lower-level financial person will suffice in the early stages. Upon exit, we would want to exit at least 26% of our shareholding to a Black Economic Empowerment entity. Obviously, that will not be a party that we will force onto anyone. It will be a party that you are happy with and that you see a way forward with.